it all on me.
Well, the boys around here don't listen to the Beatles run. Old Bo Cephas threw a jukebox needle at the honky-tonk where they boot stomp all night. What? That's right. Yeah, and walk the car, work a digging in the dirt. Gotta get it in the ground before the rain come down to get paid to get your girl in your four-wheel drive. Yeah, the boys around here drinking that ice-cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys around here sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot a back, shoot a back, shoot a back, a spit. Oh, heck. Well, the boys around here, they're keeping it country. Ain't a damn one know how to do the Dougie. No, I'm not in Kentucky, but these girls around here, yep, they still love me. Yeah, the girls around here, they all deserve a whistle. Shaking that sugar sweet as Dixie Crystal. They like that yawling southern drawl and just can't help it 'cause they just keep falling for the boys around here. Drinking that ice-cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys around here sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot her back, shoot her back, shoot her back, spit.
Let's ride through the countryside. Let's ride down to the riverside.
Hey now, girl, hop inside. It's me and you gonna take a little ride to the river. Let's ride. That's right. Lay a blanket on the ground. Kissing in the crickets is the only sound. We out of town. Have you ever got down with a do you wanna get down with a girl, you gotta get down with the boys round here, drinking that ice-cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys round here, sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot her back, shoot her back, shoot her back. I'm one of them boys round here, drinking that ice-cold beer, talking about girls, talking about trucks, running them red dirt roads out, kicking up dust. The boys round here, sending up a prayer to the man upstairs. Backwoods legit, don't take no lip. Shoot her back, shoot her back, shoot her back, spit.
Welcome to the Wing It Call, December 20th, 2016. Hold on a minute. Oh, that's tasty. Take a knee, please. Where to go today? Lord, just guide me. I've requested your guidance. I demand your guidance, your protection. You only reveal to us a little bit at a time and not the whole picture. And sometimes you wait days, months, even years before you reveal any more. We're all tired, but your birth is just 5 days away. And that was a glorious time. It still is a glorious time, but we have lost our way as to its true meaning. And I just ask that you lay in our hearts the things that we have lost and bring back to us the light of actually what it means. I love gift giving like the next person, but that's not always what it's about. I just ask for your guidance for not only myself, but my brothers and sisters, and for peace for the rest of our brothers and sisters throughout the world as this change is coming to help bring the end to war and bring back balance so that the light shines brighter than what it is. Amen. Now then, where were we? Well, people put their hands down. What'd you go do that for? Star 2 to raise your hand. Okay. Disclaimer, we're not attorneys, CPAs, or financial advisors. Anything on this call is not to be considered any form of legal advice. And for the rest of the disclaimer, please go to thewingitcall.com. There's a disclaimer tab. Click on that. Hold on just a second here. We are missing an integral part. Hello, I'm on the call and I have no wingman. Where are you at? Over. Send. I love talk to text. Anyway, still nobody raised their hands. Could be a short call. Let's delve into just a little politics. Trump is our next president. It's been verified. It just now has to go through the Senate reading it, but it's the electorals. He got 306 electoral votes, minus that one traitorous bastard out of Texas that needs to be drawn and quartered because the people voted, and that's how you're supposed to vote. But what do I know? I'm ashamed to say, I don't know if he's a true Texan or not or how he got in that position, but whatever it is, they need to reassess. You know, if there's supposed to be something different, then like Maine. Maine has, was it Maine or is it Wyoming? Somewhere out there that whoever carries the states, they get all the votes. They had one elector that was going to vote for somebody else. They said, nope, this is how it goes. If you don't vote that way, they replaced his ass. He was pulled out of the electoral pool, and an alternate was put in to vote the way the people in the state voted. Maine has it different. You know, I think they have 3 or 4 electoral votes. Hillary got 3 and Trump got 1. So, you know, that's the way that state carries everything. Let's see what else. Oh my, yes, snow everywhere. Burr was just reading that the Sahara is getting snow. Oh my. The Sahara Desert's getting snow. Wingman, you made it.
Yeah, I don't have my headset with me, so I got to use the car mic.
Well, just like I said, speak to God, speak loudly.
Speak to God who is on the right side of the car. We're all good.
Yeah, let Jesus take the wheel while you look up and speak to God.
I have a problem with that one. There weren't any cars around when he was walking here. So
Okay. I
he
told
can be
people
like my
start.
wife. He can be a backseat driver.
There you go.
There you go.
Nobody has their hand raised. We've been talking about politics here a little bit. Intel. There's not a lot of. Oh, I want to say this. I played or I tweeted out a song for Joseph because he said he wasn't coming back. It said, "Hit the road, Jack. Don't ever come back." Well, he's raised his head again, and he's like a bad penny. He just won't go away. Even though some people set stock by him, those last couple of posts where he outed himself, I'm a cabal agent, was potty mouthed. Buyer beware, listener beware. Same thing with Veritas and One Who Believes. I've been asked who to listen to when I go away. I can't vouch for anybody. Bruce won't open up the Q&A, only does emails. He cherry picks. I can only say so much, voice my opinion, and then it's up to everybody else to call him out on it. But I'm sure he has heard through the grapevine that Jerry Maguire is just asked him to do the right thing.
Well,
Art's not here today.
One of the whatever you want to call it, pointers in the PSYOPs manuals is that you never, ever, ever make an excuse for what has gone down. You never address criticism. You never call attention back to a mistake. And the reason for that is the people who are on the fence will tend to give you the benefit of the doubt because they want to believe in the message. The more you talk about it, the more logic has to be applied to it, and people will wise up and change their minds. But if you simply let people have their own inner dialogue going or their own inner monologue going on whatever the issue is, they will more than likely side with what they want to believe in rather than criticize or negate what others are telling them is wrong with what they believe in. I hope that explained it. So that's why Bruce hasn't answered this. That's why he hasn't addressed it. And that's why he doesn't have anybody on anymore unless they're handpicked. Yeah, does he lose some listeners? Yes, he does, but he retains more than if he addressed it head on.
Absolutely.
Yes.
What else? I've done a lot of reading. You got any intel you want to bring in? Because the bottom line is there's no numbers out there. We're not at the bank. We haven't been notified. We're still broke. Everything else you hear about is BS.
Yeah, although you know what, I will give Dizzy a couple of credit. What he talked about happening in the market is actually happening. It's just happening at a much slower pace because the cabal has put a lot of money into propping up and artificially keeping the bond market, the stock market especially, but also the bond market and the decline in gold. If you follow those markets, gold is slowly descending. Oil is slowly ascending to $60 a barrel, which is the magic mark they want for that. Gold's probably gonna get below 1,100 here in another week or so. And of course, you know, the stock market's gonna break 20,000, which is like, you know, which is the twilight zone.
Yeah.
It's amazing to watch. It is amazing to watch, but we all got to educate ourselves. We all got to know about these things, know how to talk about them. various experts that we hire.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's take our one and only caller. This is West Point. Go ahead.
Thanks for taking my call, Jerry. I just want to say I really enjoyed that dedicated song to You Know Who at the beginning of the call. Very appropriate. We're coming down to the end of the road, gentlemen. I think that, in terms of what you guys have done here and your legacy, you will be missed. And I just wanted to say I appreciate you guys having a very honest and open dialogue with the listeners and the members. And thank you very much for everything that you guys have done on a weekly basis for us. And I guess my only question for today is, obviously there's a lot of speculation, and it could be just that, everyone using discernment, but the situation with some of the banks that you're hearing, like Chase and TD Bank, now acknowledging certain currencies, I wanted to get your opinion on that, because it's kind of baffling to me that if Wells is the lead bank, why are they so quiet about it when all these other banks are now supposedly acknowledging it? Just wanted to get your or Aiko's opinion.
Now, let me give you something to chuckle about.
Yes, sir.
So, 25K notes is what most people bought. Wingman, you're noisy.
How do I mute on the keyboard?
You just go to your phone and you'll find the mute button. That's all you get. You don't have to mute the.
Oh, that's right.
Once you do
That's right. Now I.
So let me get back here. So if you bought $1 million dinar and you got 25K notes, I'm not wrong. I think it takes 20 or 40 notes to make $1 million. I think it might be 40. Anyway, what I'm getting at, I heard this and I started chuckling. Who is it? Bank or Chase Bank, or which one is doing the buyback for the dinar?
I believe it was Chase.
Okay, so do your math. If it cost you $1,000 to buy $1 million, Chase is willing to buy back your dinar at $20 per each 25K note. You've lost your damn minds.
Yeah.
That's worse than the buy-sell rate if you were to go to Travelex, where they get 20% above or 20% below. So anyway, yeah.
Well, I thank you for that, sir. And once again, thank you guys for everything you've done.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
You too.
North Bend, 425. Come on down.
Well, howdy do. Thank you for taking my call. I couldn't agree with you more in terms of your opening with regard to President-elect Trump. I think that if we all hold him up in prayer, that he will be a very successful president, and we can help him through his shortcomings by holding him up in prayer. Now,
speaking, well, I want to say this before you say anything. Do you know who Kim Clement is?
I absolutely do.
I was watching YouTube, and back in 2007, he was prophesying on who was going to be, the president. And he named Trump specifically. The good Lord said, "I will put him in office, and I will make him a trumpeter of trumpets."
Yep.
Even though he's hot-blooded, so.
Well, that follows. I think I mentioned on a couple of calls ago that Isaiah 45 talks about Cyrus, in that God sent him forward to do a job for him, and he said, "Although you don't know me, you will come to know me." And I believe that we're seeing probably not as much as they do behind the scenes, but we're seeing a transformation of a man who was so wrapped up in himself, and we're watching this man metamorphose. Now I can't say the word. I won't try it again. Anyway, he's changing, and I love it, and I believe that, and my constant prayer is that he will let the nation know what his relationship to God is, so that he can be a leader, that people won't be afraid to talk about God, to stand for God, to know that Christ died for us. I just think it would be, I pray for it constantly, many, many times a day, and I just invite other people to do the same thing, because the power of prayer is greater than anything that any of us have as we walk on this earth. I mean, beyond the other side of what we are in the world, prayer is phenomenal in terms of the power that is executed through prayer. So,
absolutely.
Anyway, with regard to the big call, I have labored over this, and I have had some very unchristian thoughts about what I'm about to say, and I just hope that I didn't blame Bruce when he cut off the public calls, because I can only imagine that you folks just groan when you get people like me, that come on with, hello, how are you, what are you doing, and, that kind of thing. And although they're well-intended and so forth, I can imagine that you could, after a while, you just get really tired of it. However, many of the people that did call in had good thoughts, questions, and so on. And the posture and position that Bruce has taken with this, the products that are being marketed on his site, they're wonderful products, I'll say that. They're fabulous. And I had a friend that I recommended to go and purchase some of those products. And we had been told initially that if we sent in a certain form, that we would be able to receive a commission on the products that were ordered by people. Not like a multi-level or anything like that. Anyway, I was astounded at the commission, which I never received. I did call and I did ask for it, but I didn't receive it. So having said that, I grind my teeth a lot when I hear them marketing and saying, well, go to the Big Call website, and that's how you get in touch with, it's the Boomer Boost folks, and they're good people. I'm not saying that, but it's the commission thing that makes me grind my teeth. And I just wish they would, say, fine, this is a business for me, I get a commission on it, done. But since they don't, I think it's almost dishonest. So there, I've said my piece.
I don't even have to add anything to it. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you for taking my call. And I wish all of you and your family and ICO and Wingman the very merriest and blessed of Christmases.
And you have the same. I wish that for everybody. Whether sometimes it's easier, because I'm right here when I say this quote. Sometimes it's easier to be broke and humble than it is to be rich and humble. Now, that being said, I'd like the opportunity to see what the difference is. But I've also heard from people, I've talked with people that have so much that they'll never see the bottom, that they're more worried about keeping it. So if I live paycheck to paycheck just like everybody else, if I miss one, I'm thinking, holy hell, what am I going to do now? So I struggle like everybody else. When this comes in, I'm gonna breathe a sigh of relief. I've budgeted for certain amounts. I won't say I put the thoughts in my head. I put figures in my head, and they're not these grandiose $65,000 or $100,000 to one with no zeros lopped off on the Zim. I've said on the calls before what I budgeted. If it comes in at those numbers, I literally will never see the bottom of the bucket, and I'm going to go out and do philanthropic projects, and I'm going to spend money like a drunken sailor, putting my brothers and sisters back to work, helping out the areas that I live in, doing different things. So when I say spending money like a drunken sailor, that's my form. And I've said before, if I get the opportunity, I'll walk into or call up a Walmart to the manager, because I play racquetball with a couple, and say, hey, who do I talk to? And I want to pay off the layaways for, pick a couple of Walmarts, stores, and just pay them off and say, Merry Christmas. And things like that. That to me is spending money like a drunken sailor. Not to say that I'm not going to sprinkle a few $100 bills around here and there if I'm going out to a restaurant to eat or leave a nice healthy tip. Absolutely, things like that. So I'm rambling on. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Anyway, North Bend, are you done?
I would like to have one request, and that is the gentleman that was on, and I missed his name. That seemed to have so much insight to things that were going on. I wonder if on your last call you would consider... Are you talking
about Mr. B?
I think that's who it is. If you would consider having him as a guest, and
well, you know what? Hold on here. Mr. B, if you're here, just raise your hand. But you know what? Hold on just a second here. I've got one of them their smartphones, and it's got a lot of people in it. Let me see what I can come up with here. Nope. How did I put his name? Did I put his name in here? Shirley, not to be confused with Shirley, but Shirley. Let's go up here. Well, looky there. Hold on just a second. Mr. B, I'm on the call right now, and some people are wondering if you would come on. If you can't get in, text me back, and I'll give you the access code so you can. Jerry McGuire. You have answers. These people have questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry, and God bless you.
Talk to text is wonderful.
I didn't know they had such a thing.
They do. All right. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. God bless.
Hey, Jerry, I had to sign off for a minute while I was getting back in the house here. So I'm back. I was gone for a little while.
So, got a caller on the web called Manchild. Truth Seeker, if that's you, put your hand down. Not going to call on you. You've had your piece. It says Dallas, Texas. And then you've got another one, too, so think about it. Houston, I tell you what. There you go. See? I'm not so dumb after all. You put your hand down. Houston, 281. Can you hear me now?
Oh, hi, Jerry. How you doing?
Good. Telling it like it is.
Yeah, right. I have a friend of mine who's in this thing for 5 years. And always said to me, he lives long enough to see everything, and
he dropped dead a couple of days ago. Really terrible. As I said, he was really counting on it. And I guess that's a story that a lot of people don't really know. This happened to me, being a friend, but there's so many other people that are depending on this, and this just happens. And I'm beginning to think that the Black Hats are winning this battle. It goes on, and there's always a reason why it doesn't go down. Tony had us on lockdown for 3 years, and it just seems like it goes on forever. And I don't know how to put it exactly, but you go to someone like Bruce, which I listen to, and he's a nicey, nothing ever bad, no guests ever talk to him or anything. And it just seems as though it can happen. It can probably happen tonight. I mean, he's been saying that for the last 4 months. This is probably it. So, as much as I like you, Jerry, I think you're smart to get out, because this whole deal is so frustrating, especially being your second. You're probably my favorite of all of them, and you give me the best information. But the thing is, how much more can we take of this stuff? I mean, we went through Maliki, went to Mosul. We hear now Wells Fargo's out, and Bank of America's coming in because WSBC is going to buy them out.
Hold on.
You don't know what to believe anymore.
I got a word for you. Are you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
PSYOPs. We just talked about it. When we're down here, like we are, humble and waiting because God says it's time for the meek to inherit the earth, well, that's where we're at. We know what needs to be done. We're showing what needs to be done, and we're not greedy. We're willing to spend money. We're going to break in. I'm going to break into the principle because I'm going to have plenty. You can't take it with you. Naked I came into this world, naked I will leave. So, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that's correct. Because I said, I'll look at that. But the thing, of course, is this. It's just so frustrating for everybody. And people keep on saying, then you have people like Nick, who I don't particularly like, but if you listen to him and that notorious call he had with you, I mean, he's right until this thing happens. I mean, it hasn't happened. He says that, he gives reasons. And until it happens, people like Nick can say, hey, listen to me. It hasn't happened yet. Then you have, have Nanny Goat, and you have Joseph and everything else. But
let me ask you a question. Do you think it's going to happen, or do you know it's going to happen?
I think it's going to happen. I don't know if I know. I think it's going to happen, but I don't know if it's going to happen.
I know it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. So Nick can do all he wants.
How about 5 years from now? How about 10 years from now? I mean,
even if it's 5 or 10 years,
we'll be dead.
So it's worth the. Okay, so you're dead. Pass it on to somebody else. Maybe it's not yours to have the opportunity to do that. Maybe it's somebody else's turn. Maybe you're just the holder passing it on to somebody else. You ever thought about that?
You think anybody believes me? I mean, as well as I'm sure there's a situation with many so-called holders is that the family don't really believe in them. They say this is a scam, and it's one of those things. It's not like, oh, gee, we're going to.
Okay, I know. We're hold on. We could talk about that for hours, but anyway, I appreciate your insight. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay, good luck.
Yeah, I didn't get to him quick enough. Hold on just a second. Okay. Beaverton. Wait a minute. Mr. B, if you're on the call, send me a text to tell me where you're calling from. Oh, and I want to read this, and then we'll get to Beaverton. I just got a text. I'm going to read portions of it, not everything. I know who this person is. We've had many many, many talks. So this person had a conversation with an unnamed person, and you've heard me talk about this, but this is just more confirmation. Yes, the small bills are in circulation in Iraq. I did mention that. I said, but what's not in Iraq just yet is the coins. The coins are not out. Yes, the rate in country is higher. Yes, the embassy was informed on Friday that the currency is being traded in most American banks. Yes, Mosul is almost yesterday's news. Yes, the good news is around the corner. Yes, they are all aware. They are aware all of the other countries are about to change in value. Now, there's more to it, but it was private information for me. I just wanted to share with you. I'm letting you know for a fact that the person that sent this to me knows what they're talking about. Okay. My phone was blowing up. It always blows up during these calls. I'm vouching for the person that sent me the text. It's quite lengthy. It's well written. The person is well educated. So that being said, just a little something for you there. Beaverton, 503. Come on down.
Well, you're really good at getting people's Christmas wishes answered for North Bend, lady. You got a call on Mr. B right away. Merry Christmas to you and Art and Iko, Jerry.
Well, Mr. B is not, that wasn't from him.
No, I know, but she said, oh, well, would you invite him on our next call, the last call? And you said, well, just a second. And there it was. So, well, at least you dialed him up, so that was great. Now she wants a bike.
Absolutely. And how are you doing today? How is the weather up there, Burr?
You know what? It's mild, Burr. We finally, the snow melted off. Oregon is not really renowned for big snow. We get it up in the mountains, but down here we get 2 or 3 days in the wintertime, and that's about it. But the last couple of days, we didn't get above 30 degrees for about 4 or 5 days. So it's been ice and snow, and people aren't used to driving on it up here, and so a lot of them, it's just a crazy mess. So the street crews were busy, and so were the tow trucks.
Yes,
but,
they are.
It's getting better. You're down in Texas, right?
Yes, I am.
Well, you don't get much snow where you are then.
Okay.
Maybe. No, I was born in Oklahoma, and we used to get drifts up there, but I had a uncle that lived down in Corpus Christi and another one in Austin. And they'd run home when they heard snow was coming to Oklahoma.
Absolutely.
Well, I enjoyed what Iko was saying on the beginning of it, and you listen to all this stuff, and first you hear they're really excited. Mosul's they've got it out basically cleared out, and then the thing came out today that it's probably going to be the second quarter of 2017. So that's some of the PSYOP stuff that's going on. But I was just trying to figure out if you or Iko, I mean, there's financial implications and political stuff, and I'm sure there's some procedural things that everybody's waiting on. But I was just trying to figure out, what are the triggers that they're looking for? I was kind of blown away.
Well, Val, that is the $1 trillion question. Because
well, that's the right one then, Santa.
Well, and the thing is, if there was some indicators, well, the market should have been the great indicator. Crashing, being propped up. Deutsche Bank, douche bank as I like to call them.
Right.
That should have been an economy killer for the world, and they should have done something. But there is, because it's so. This is not political. This is not geopolitical. This is the battle between good and evil. Then they want to make it look like a geopolitical thing to keep everybody off guard. So there is no trigger. It's when the light has had enough, has ensnared enough of the dark publicly, if you understand what I'm saying, and went into the wood pile and killed enough of the rats. Because they are abandoning the ship. We've got to get more of them off the ship and in the water and drown their butts. That's the trigger. Nothing that we can see is going to be a trigger, but they'll say, "Oh, you know what? Here it is." Then they'll show us this is a trigger. I hope that makes sense, because that's really what it truly boils down to.
Oh no, I know, and you keep reading and you say, "Oh, well, they're arresting crooked bankers in Hong Kong and in London, and they got people they're arresting in China and here in the United States." And I know that's fine and good, but there's there are people that are in position, but there's the big guys ahead over them that are really pulling all the strings. What are they doing about them?
Oh,
but,
you mean the puppet masters?
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
well,
but man is crazy. And then they were saying the CBI has been doing quite well, holding their reserves. And I read last night where their reserves right now are down to $40 billion. And and that kind of surprised me, because I know Alac, whether he's a interim guy or the governor of the CBI, he's been kind of proud about keeping it above $60 billion or up. But what they referenced wasn't so much the expense of the country, but that there's still corruption pulling money out of the CBI. And
it's look what's going on here. It's that way everywhere. It's just more political here and covered up rather than blatant there. That's the only difference.
And then the kicker, they're looking to come out with a new bond issue that is going to have a lower interest rate, because apparently the U.S. is going to guarantee the underwriting. And I thought, well, are they just trying to, is this like a bridge loan, or is this like one drunk trying to help another drunk drowning in the river, and they're both there together?
Well, yeah. All right. Thank you, sir.
Hey, blessings. Merry Christmas and a great New Year to you, your crew, and all of our land, because God is bringing this blessing forward. And,
He is.
I loved what you were saying. It's like, we touch lives with people in ways. Sometimes it's a smile, sometimes it's a bag of groceries, or, sometimes it's a single mom or single dad that you just walk away and there's an envelope and they got, $400 or $500 that can make the difference.
Hey, kind of like when Barry White showed up earlier. They gave a little shout out to a Miracle Queen there. Had a little song for her.
And that was a great one.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Good tunes and great New Year. Blessings to you.
You too. Bye. Just because I'm in the Christmas spirit, man-child, I'm going to give you 60 seconds. Please be respectful. And again, you don't have skin in the game, so why are you on the call?
Thank you, sir. I sure appreciate that. That last text that you read to your audience, please beware. There's a lot of misinformation out there.
Nope, we're not. Again, I'm giving you the opportunity. I'm vouching for the man. So it's not mis or disinformation. He knows what he's talking about. So thank you. You're out. Wickenburg, Arizona.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
Hi, I just wanted to say that I've learned a lot from your calls. Appreciate everything you guys have done. And is there a chance that you guys will be back on the call?
Going to take a month off.
Next year? Oh, you're going to take a month off?
We're going to take the whole month of January off, and we'll make a decision at that point.
Okay. Well, Merry Christmas to you all, and we appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for listening. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to bring a little information to you. Chutzpah.
Baby, come back.
Chutzpah, buddy.
Hello. I'm just listening to prayer. But, I got a word.
Hey, Chutzpah, you're in. It's a bad connection. Terrible. Let me try it again.
Hang on. Don't hang up yet, because I know how you guys love to hang up on people. All right.
Oh, yeah, right. No, it's still, you're really staticky.
Still?
Oh,
Still
terrible.
bad? All right, wait a minute. One other thing. Hang on. I got to shut the heater off and freeze my nose. Hang on. How about now? Is it better now?
No, it's just the connection. Give it to me quick.
I'm going to dial in my cell phone. Goodbye.
We haven't heard from this person in a while. Water on the web. Hello.
Oh, hi, Jerry. How you doing?
Good.
Good. I just want to comment that I think it was great that I think a couple of callers back, the guy, he's asking, does he believe or does he know the RV is going to happen? And I think that's the point. We have to know it's going to happen. And a lot of people are frustrated and all that, but the RV is going to happen. There's no way it's not going to happen. So I think it's just great that you brought that out. That just have to know it's going to happen.
Absolutely. It's not if, it's just when. So it's not, is it gonna? Is it? Yes, it is.
Because this country, this whole planet would be in big trouble if it doesn't happen. But that's my comment. I mean, I just want to bring that out. I just want to wish you guys a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. You, Aiko, and Art. And hopefully everything, we get RV before Christmas. So when you take your time off in January, hey, we don't need to come back because we're all RV. So hopefully that will happen.
So there you go. All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Bye.
Bye. Here we go. Chutzpah.
Hey, how about now? You got a better shot at me now or what?
5 by 5. Go ahead.
Okay. Listen, I sent you an email, and you didn't give me an exact answer that I was looking for, so I'm just going to mention it real quick. Since Iraq doesn't have trillions of dollars to pay for the 10,000 and 25,000, dinar notes, currency, at full face value, I mean, you got to figure for what is close to millions of Iraqi dinar holders in the USA
Hold on. You've been listening for a while, so let me just address this real quick. What they do in country doesn't affect us. And once we exchange here, more than likely the UST, it will take years for that. It's just not going to dump back in 6 months, years. And besides, they can use it as liquidity. Look what they hold in their reserves. So that answer will answer all the questions that you emailed me right there. Okay?
That's why you're Mr. Knowledge. Number 2.
No.
Or is it number 1? That's right. You're the head redneck. I keep forgetting. Sorry. My mistake.
All right.
All right. You guys have a good one. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Bessemer, Alabama, 205. Bessemer.
Thank you for taking my call. I had to take a phone call just about the time Aiko came in, and I got just the tail end of what he was saying about Bruce. Do you all think he's giving out false information?
Wingman?
See, that's, hold on a second. The problem with all of this is I don't think Bruce is an evil person. I don't think he's a bad person. And the information that he's giving out, he's being given by people that he believes are experts. Okay?
I understand that. Yes.
So he's repeating what he's being told, and I have no doubt that they're operating with him the same way they operated with Jerry and I. They're making promises. You're a special person. You're going to have first dibs. You're going to get the sovereign rate. This, that, it's all of that flattery and that petitioning the ego in going along with the company line. Okay. So again, I used to talk to Bruce early on, and when we both thought we were getting the right information, and I decided we weren't getting the right information, he continued to believe that we were, and so we moved apart. And then he's adjusted his show so that it fits the model that the people giving out the information wanted to fit. This has all been about. There's a dynamic in DNR land, and I know this is going to ruffle a lot of people's feathers, but don't feel bad, because we all fall into it sooner or later to various degrees. But most of the people in DNR land are here to be rescued. Their lives aren't going well. They've got money problems. They're looking for some outside reason for that instead of looking in the mirror. And to buy a DNR note, it's a super lottery. To I would say the vast majority of currency holders, that's how they treat it. Now, the people on this call are looking for more answers. Okay, people on this call are digging for information and trying to sort things out. But the vast majority of DNR holders are not doing that. They're giving the power in their lives over to somebody else who's telling them how their lives are going to be. And it's a very addictive thing, especially when you have that kind of rescue mentality. I need to be rescued. I can't fix my life. Can you fix my life for me? And there are thousands of people out there who make a real good buck running seminars for people who are looking for somebody to fix their lives.
Well, I guess I'm one of them. My husband insisted on buying this currency, and he said it's really going to happen one day. And I said, yeah, but we may be dead and gone. And now he's passed away, and here I am. So I'm kind of struggling.
Well, listen, you're not alone. I've been there too.
Oh,
at different points in my life. There was a time in my life where I plopped down $20 on the lottery every week, even when I was making money. I put $20 down every week, thinking, what the heck? If I win it, great. If I don't, I don't. But looking back, the 30 years that I did that, if I had taken that money and put it in the stock market,
right,
I'd have another $130,000 with stock right now. It's money quarterbacking, but I don't want anybody to feel bad. But I do want us all to understand that when this hits, it's gonna change so many dynamics in our lives, and it's not going to be easy. I'm not saying be afraid of it. I'm just telling you the challenge is there, and if you want to look at it in a form of a gift from a higher source, that higher source is giving you an opportunity, and you got to step up to the plate.
I realize that when we bought currency, we set so much aside that this was God's money. Whatever it come in, that was His.
Yep.
So,
yep. And that's a good thing to do. Energetically, that's a great thing to do, because that comes back to you in spades. If you truly put aside that money selflessly, in other words, don't tie any strings to it. Don't say it's only for this group or only for that group or only for this cause. It'll come back to you in spades. That's how the universe works. That's just how or that's how God works. However you want to talk about it, whatever language you want to talk about it in, it really does. That's where tithing came from. That's an ancient philosophy. All the way back. You can trace that back 6,800 years to China. Tithing. It works.
I tell you, I'm in the same boat that you are. I feel your pain.
Who's that in the background?
Yeah.
Is that you, Jerry?
In the background? No.
Yeah. You sound like you're very far away.
Mm-hmm.
But
can you hear me now?
But yeah, but caller, Jerry brought up something really, really interesting in the call today about being the placeholder, or maybe your role is to pass this on to somebody else, and that's why you're here. That could very well be.
I understand that too, and I've told my children that if it doesn't happen when I'm living, because they've kind of laughed at me about it. But I said, don't throw it away. It'll be good someday.
Well, let me ask you something. When you pass on, are you going to be buried or cremated? What you going to do?
I'm going to be buried.
Okay, so on your gravestone, you're going to say something like, "I told you so," or
well, wait. Now they all have currency, but they laugh at me like they don't think it's going to happen.
Right. Yeah, I know. I mean, I got that. Listen, I got that going with my wife. She's a show me the money person. And we actually made an agreement about 6 months ago. So we're just not going to talk about it anymore, because all it does is frustrate her, which frustrates me. And and as connected as I am, she believes that I'm just another victim of the entire PSYOPs campaign. Right. And you know what? You got to allow for that. You can't let that go.
I understand that, and I understand that you all are giving us information from someone that has fed information to you. If it's wrong, then we get wrong information. I understand that.
That's
so
true.
I'm not holding you or Bruce or anyone else, right down to the point. But let me ask one more question, and I'll get off the line. And I thank you so much for all that you all tell us. I don't know. I mean, the fact that President Obama.
Oh, he just cut out. Maybe he's listening.
I got kicked off my own call again.
You did? Well, the caller just got kicked off, too.
Oh, darn it. Sorry about that. I was sitting here talking, you going, you're fuzzy, and I'm like, I looked over, and all of a sudden, click. Well, that's nice.
She was just about to say something juicy about Obama. I wanted to hear it. So.
Oh. Well, maybe she'll raise her hand again.
Maybe.
Hilton Head, South Carolina, 843.
Hello, can you hear me?
Redneck Radio. Hold on. Don't go away. So you want to tell us something juicy about Obama?
Well, I wasn't going to tell you anything. I was going to ask you something. I just wanted to know if the fact that one president is going out and another one coming in, and I don't know that this would have a bearing at all. It just appears to me that if this could happen while one president is in office, that he would get credit for this happening. Would that have anything to do with it? I mean, that's just got nothing to do with it at all?
I'll give you the answer, but I'm going to go ahead and mute you out. Thank you for your question.
Okay.
So I've always said there was a rumor out there that the current administration, in redneck terms, said that hell will freeze over before they allow the American people to have any money. Well, heard that several years ago and thought, no, they don't. They're not that bad. Well, because in the end, when this happens, the gold standard comes back. That means the Federal Reserve is dead, because they no longer can print money and control our money, because then it falls to the United States Treasury. Now, do you understand? The Fed is fighting tooth and nail.
Yeah, but Jerry, I would add to that, or I would alter that slightly and say that, yes, they don't want it to happen, and therefore they would say something, because they're politicos. They would say, when hell freezes over, is when this is going to happen. But they do not have, the thing that's misleading there in that statement is they do not have control of when this happens.
No, because of some things have happened behind the scenes that we don't know about.
That's right. That's right.
So there we go.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
Hilton Head.
Hi, Jerry and Iko. I have a question. I want to give a one note, 100 trillion Zim note to my grandson. Who will take him in? Who will take him? Yeah, go ahead.
No. Let me tell you what to do. Exchange it yourself. Exchange it. Exchange all the currency yourself. Put it in your trust, and then have him open up in a trust and endow it from one trust to another. And everything is covered. No muss, no fuss. Simply done. KISS. Keep it simple. Stupid.
Okay, but I want your reaction to this idea. Suppose, and that's a good sound way, but suppose I give him a note. Who's going to take him into the bank? And it's a 1-to-1 ratio. What are they going to give a 10-year-old who won't be doing humanitarian projects?
They're not. Just do what I said. Because it'll be no much.
He can't exchange it anyway. He's 10 years old.
Yeah.
He's got to be 18.
So just exchange it, and then set up the account. No muss, no fuss.
Got it. I was just curious to get your reaction, and you gave me a good answer.
Well,
thanks a lot.
All right, bye.
Enjoy your.
I'm sorry. I was looking at my. Stop texting. I see you. Asheville, North Carolina. 828. Come on down.
Hey, Jerry. How you doing today?
Redneck Radio.
Good. I wanted to just see if you're okay with this. A guy in Houston who was obviously frustrated. I mean, we've all been there. I've been fooling with this since 2010, but I got to a point where I got so fed up with all the gurus, and I would be on Tony and DC's call and all that, and I started just looking, outside currency land and outside dinar land, and you start finding people, and some of them go conspiratorial at times, but they have different angles at this, and I wanted to see if I could put these names out there where that guy in Houston can research it, because it all goes down to the gold standard. That's where it all filters down to, and they don't have anything to really do with currency. Do you mind if I put two names out there?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. The first one is a guy by the name of Bix, B-I-X, Weir, W-E-I-R. He has a website, Road to Ruta. He's actually big on Bitcoin, which I really don't delve into that much, but he's a silver trader. He's very well versed in all the shady dealings with the Fed and all the central bankers around the world, and he's got a lot of knowledgeable information as far as the gold standard. And the second person that has nothing to do with currency or RV is a guy by the name of Chris Martinson. And his website is peakprosperity.com, and he's got a great quote. He said, gold provides a set of restraints that keep sovereign entities from living beyond their means. And when you go back to Obama and the Fed, they've kind of got a mutually exclusive relationship where the Fed, they're pumping money into the stock market. That's where the inflation is. It's not necessarily at the consumer level, but the inflation's in the stock market. And it props up the economy, so Obama can sit there and point the finger at the stock market and say, hey, look, the economy's doing great. So they're kind of in this scratch each other's back relationship. But at the end of the day, Obama's going to have to part ways. And at some point the stock market's going to part ways with this inflation bubble. And, because I think the value of the stock market's maybe 10,000, maybe 8, legitimately, if you remove all that digitized money that the Fed has put in there, parked in there. Mm-hmm. And, so anyway, but that's what eliminated a lot of my frustration with dealing with all the calls and just the false hopes and false expectations is kind of going outside currency land and finding these people that the central theme is asset-backed currency, gold standard, and just understanding that it's been a 40-year process. And where you all come into this is really solidifying that. And, and I stumbled into your call, I guess it was back in March, and what was so interesting about it was on the message boards, I see Iko Ward's post, and I really like this post. He's kind of like a coach, just kind of this wisdom about his...
Don't stop it, because right now he's already had to make his entrance doors to his house bigger.
Well, what was so great about it was the first call I got on, I was like, oh, my God, there's Iko Ward. And I was just immediately drawn to it and of course yourself. And really what was nice about it was with all the insanity and stupidity that went on with the election, you all were kind of like this little, island out here where you could just go to 2-3 times a week, whatever, and just really step away from all that. And that was, I don't think a lot of people realize, or maybe they do, the service you all did by allowing people to step away from all that and just kind of go into a different direction. It's kind of like macroeconomics versus micro. You all were kind of the micro, and and so anyway, but that's my thing for the guy in Houston, because we all have been there. I've been at this since 2010, and and I obviously I'll work, but it all comes down to the gold standard, So anyway, but thank you all. Have a good Christmas, and look forward to your last call. And I will say the one person we had on here, Awaken 3D, if you're able to get him on, that'd be great. And if you're able to get, do you have anyone that's going to take over the call in January? Have you made a decision?
Nope.
No.
Nobody's volunteered. Okay. Nobody stepped forward, so it is done.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, regardless, I'll see you next week and have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Jerry, you know what this reminds me of? The opening of the
Thank God you're
show?
a wood carpenter. Thank you
yes.
You're a finisher, because you can get you a bigger door for your head.
That's right. But the Bullwinkle show, when they're interviewing Boris, and they're saying, and he's complaining that he sends ladies spy with package, which is really bomb, etc. And then so the announcer says, "So, you want more money?" He goes, "No, just give me top billing."
Yeah, there you go.
That's it. That's it. Just I want my name to be bigger than yours. Yeah,
well, you got it, because you're always mentioning you're. It's the Wing It call with Jerry Maguire, and Wingman has eclipsed me. So, Melrose, Florida, 352. Come on down.
Good afternoon, Jerry Maguire. Thank you for taking my call. I'd just like to say how much I have appreciated the calls. Been listening since the inception, and it's my first time calling in.
I need to do a little shout out here. And I'm probably going to get in trouble. You know what? Let me see here. There is a lady. I can do it this way. If that lady in Florida that's probably listening, that's retired from the post office, if you don't call me, I am going to out you like a bad panty. Now, I know you got my phone number, and I'm feeling like a little redheaded stepchild. You don't even love me. You won't even talk to me anymore. She knows what I'm talking about. I love her anyway, but she's just ignored me. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, I just wanted to call in and give a little intel or information for the listeners. I am in Florida, but I do have family in New York, and last evening I spoke with my brother and asked him to verify whether Citibank is actually dealing with the IQD. And lo and behold, he went in today, and they are. It is live on their screens. They are buying and selling it. Not at the rates that we would like just yet, but it is live.
Bless their hearts.
Yeah, it's hey, this is what we've been waiting for it to actually be real. So all of those out there who are doubting whether this thing is real or not, it's real, and our ship is docked. We just have to wait for the captain to say we can disembark.
Absolutely.
Actually,
well, thank you, ma'am.
That's a good analogy. Actually, what we're waiting for is we're waiting for the longshoreman to show up and man the crane.
Well, yes, he's on his lunch break or something, but
Yep.
he needs to get on the ball.
Them damn union longshoremen up there in New York, they just think they're all that in a box of chips. Well, I got news for you. Get off your butt and go to work.
Hey, they work hard there now. Come on.
I know.
They do a fantastic job.
I know they do. Thank you,
well,
ma'am.
I just wanted to say that and give everybody some hope this Christmas. Maybe this is the Christmas finally. And to thank you and Iko and Art for hosting this call for us. We're all going to miss you. And hopefully you'll come back maybe reincarnated as something else.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, too. I know you're not there, but it says Pleasanton, Texas, 830. Come on down. That's you.
Jerry, I'd like to thank you and Iko and Art for the mentorship y'all have provided to the Denard family. One quick question. Next Tuesday will be your last call.
Correct.
After that, if it were to RV, will you still tweet out depends?
If they allow me to, we don't know the rules of engagement nor the rules of notification. We've been discussing this. Whatever I can do, I will provide to you. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir, it does. And very appreciative.
I would love to tweet out in big capital letters, depends, if I'm allowed to, because we don't know how they're going to do this. That's it.
Well, Jerry, you and Art and Iko have a very Merry Christmas and a blessed New Year.
You too. Relax, have a blue moon. North Bend, 425.
Oh, gosh, thanks for taking my call again. Something that occurred to me that when you were talking about Obama and so forth and so on, I haven't heard it addressed for a while, but many years ago when I first got into this, it was my understanding that because of the amount of currency, IQD, that the United States held, just like with Clinton when he had a surplus, I think, from the Kuwaiti dollar or dinar.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
What is the situation now, or scuttlebutt or whatever, with regard to the national debt being paid off surreptitiously, or maybe not so surreptitiously, with dinar when we RV?
Don't know. That's that political stuff, and for some reason, they keep telling me that my clearance is not enough to be notified about stuff like that, and I keep telling them that's all kinds of wrong.
I agree. All right, Jerry. Well, thank you.
Thanks. Rodeo Drive. No, Boynton Beach. That's Boynton Beach, Professor.
Good afternoon and Merry Christmas to both of you.
And what do we owe the pleasure of you today? Because I know you got good words of wisdom.
Well, Iko rekindled a phrase that I haven't heard in God knows how many years. When I did used to work down by the piers, when the longshoremen arrive. Iko, do you remember how breakage occurred on the piers?
Yes, I sure do.
I used to have to traipse out in the narrows on the tugs with some manifest at times trying to catch these cargo liners going out.
Well,
I was with the old Swedish American line.
oh wow.
Yes.
Sound like two old timers. Well,
yes.
Professor.
But the longshoreman remarks, the stories I guarantee you he could tell and I could tell about what goes on that used to go on the longshoremen.
And that's during business hours. We don't talk about what goes on after dark.
One of the funniest things about Port Newark was the year Star Trek came out. They were spraying the inside of a storage tank with this special primer, but it was silver. And all the guys got the bright idea. They all sprayed their boots and their shoes silver.
Yep.
Somewhere, and somewhere in the local 3 hall is a picture of about 100 guys all standing there in their silver boots. I mean, as awful as that union could be at times, it was also a lot of fun, and they did a lot of funny things. They really did. Which there's days worth of stories here, but
but I used to. That'd be the first time I saw. Oh, we need something breakage. They put the lift up 20 feet. Down it came.
Well, it broke. It broke. How did these 8 cars get 50 extra miles on them between Friday afternoon and Monday morning when they were sitting here? Yeah, that was the other thing. Everybody got a brand new car to take home every weekend. They just had to have it back by Monday morning, 6 o'clock. Those were the rules. So, anyway, listen, guys. I have to leave a little early tonight. All
right.
Just in case we don't have a call next week. Just in case.
But in any event,
yeah.
Good to hear the two of you. I wish I had some intel, but I just thought an old war story was a lot more fun.
Yep. So anyway,
I first on the cruise of the old first United States. Interesting. But anyway.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
you, Professor.
Have a great. Everybody, have a great Christmas. Hopefully, we're not going to have a call next week. And just in case that happens, it's been everything it could possibly be. It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of heartache. It's been very rewarding, no matter what. And I'm glad I had the opportunity to do this call with Jerry, because what it did was it prodded me to make sure that what I was putting out was as accurate as I could possibly make it, which led me to find out a lot of the inaccuracies out there. And just remember, guys, be discerning, be careful, and remember, when you're wealthy, you're the one who says when things happen. Nobody tells you it's got to happen right now or you're going to miss out, because you know what? You can afford to miss out. You can just look them right in the eye and say, oh, well, guess I'll miss out. So it's the little things that make such a difference, and you're going to be able to practice all that. Yeah, go ahead.
Somebody asked me the other day why I did the calls. And it paused me to step back and think about that, and so here's my answer. Because at the time, there was a lot of BS going on out there, and I thought that I could just speak the truth. Seems to have worked for a whole year anyway, and call people out. I myself was completely tired of the BS. Why not call people out? Yep. Of course, I had to figure out how to do it politically. Now, don't care if you're screwing up. Oh, by the way, didn't Joseph say that Trump would never get nominated, and then Trump would never get past the electoral vote? Well, look where we are now. Anyway, you know what? That's enough. And while Wingman's still here, let's just go ahead and wrap this up. Wingman?
I'm leaving right now.
What's the last word for the day?
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you very much. See you next Tuesday.
The conference is now completed. Goodbye. Welcome to the conference. Please enter the conference